All right, good morning, guys. So today we are going to take some short notes over the response systems before we do a lab. So make sure you're working as efficiently as possible so you have time for your lab. Go ahead and take a second to set up your Cornell notes. Title it The Response Systems, and we're talking today about how body systems work together for regulation. Okay, so set up your notes to make a Y chart, and we're going to actually compare two different systems today. Both of these systems are used in regulating the human body. They interact together in the brain. They communicate from one area of body to the other, and they help maintain homeostasis. Everything on this slide you should have written down by the end of today. So both of these systems work together, but they work in slightly different ways and for slightly different reasons. The nervous system is the first one we're going to talk about, and the nervous system is special because it's rapid acting. Okay, so it's really quick. When something happens with your nervous system, it's like a reflex. It's something like you almost can't control. Okay, and it works with electrical impulses. Those electrical impulses, as you probably know, come from your brain, travel down your spinal column into different nerves in your body. Okay, and so it's involved in control of things that change over really short periods of time. So we're talking seconds to minutes. You may choose to move something could take minutes to choose to do, or you may touch a hot stove and like pull your hand back really quick, and that happened before you could even really process it because your nervous system took control of this. Okay, it's an all or none principle. Either you react to the nervous system or you don't react. There's no partially reacting. Okay, you're either doing it or you're not. So examples of your nervous system. Your heart rate is controlled by your nervous system. So that pumping of your heart, and that's something you can't control. Your heart it pumps. It's a go and release. So your nervous system works really closely with your muscular system for all your kind of movements. It works with breathing, okay, for the same reasons as we said for the heart rate. And it works with your voluntary muscle contractions, so you choosing to move, and also with your reflexes, okay? So we can compare that quick acting system to a much slower acting system that we call the endocrine system. Not endocrine, endocrine system. So the endocrine system is more slowly acting. It's still going to regulate the human body. It's going to control what you do, but it controls what you do through chemical messages that we call hormones. So testosterone, estrogen, adrenaline, all of those hormones are chemical messages. And instead of traveling electrically through the nerves, it travels through the circulatory system of your bloodstream. They're chemicals that go through your blood. And because of that, it is in control of things that change over long periods of time, taking minutes to years. So things like reproduction, things like growing, things like learning, and there are gradients. Okay, you can be in the process of growing or in the process of forming a new human life in you, if you are a woman. Okay, so there are ranges, right? A baby can grow from a baby to an adult, and there's a range in between. And it takes a long time for that to happen, but it has profound changes on you. Okay, so all of your body is controlled and regulated by these two systems in different ways, and they work together in the brain. So the brain produces both electrical impulses and hormones, okay? So that's where the interaction happens. I did want to take 1 second to show you a diagram of a neuron, because this is a type of specialized cell we should talk about. So please draw this neuron. So draw the neuron and label the parts. So your electrical impulses, shown by these cool lightning bolts, enter through the dendrite, and they're going to travel down the axon to the end of the synapse, where they're going to connect with another neuron or with muscle tissue, depending on kind of where they are. Okay, so your axon, little fact, is actually surrounded by what we call a myelin sheath. This is why it's important for little kids to have really high-fat diets, because that fat acts like insulation, almost like an electrical wire. Insulation for an electrical wire to help that current move as efficiently as possible. Okay, so elongated cells, these are very slow growing cells. They don't divide very often. They are really important, and they branch out. So each of these dendrites is going to have like hundreds to thousands of neurons connecting it. So it's a big network. It's a big electrical network. So make sure you have this drawn and labeled, and you understand why it's an important specialized cell. Different structure, different function than a blood cell. Okay. All right, guys, and that's all for today. So in your debrief, in the summary section of your notes, I want you to compare, meaning tell me similarities and differences, the nervous and endocrine system. Make sure I check it before you're done. And when you're finished, we'll go ahead and start the lab. So have a great day.